Hello everyone, Alex here. A few years ago, I learned about an e-learning software called Articulate Storyline. Storyline is a superb e-learning development tool with many powerful and useful features. Today, I'd like to show you some of those features so that you might be able to leverage their power and utility in any e-learning courses that you can develop. Let's have a look. The three things we want to look at are layers, triggers, and states. So I'm going to start with an example. As you can see on the slide before you, it's just this basic slide, and it's just a very simple presentation on the population of Canada's largest cities, Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and Montreal. Okay, so this is my main slide, and if I look over here on the right, I've got layers, and I've got triggers above that. We're going to focus on layers for the moment. If you see the layers that I have here, I've got one for Montreal, one for Calgary, one for Vancouver. What I don't have is one for Toronto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer for Toronto by clicking on this new layer button down here, and I'll type in the text for Toronto. Okay, so there's my Toronto layer. So now I have a layer for Toronto. Now we need some information. So I'm going to go to another slide I have over here on my slide views, and I'm going to grab this information that I've already got about Toronto, this shot of downtown Toronto, this image of downtown Toronto. I'm going to copy that back to my slide here and back to my Toronto layer. I'm going to copy and paste it in, and there it is. I'm going to resize that and reposition it. And now I need to add some text. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to grab that text about Toronto with its large population of 5 million plus. I'm going to copy that text. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to insert a text box here. And I'm just going to copy and paste that text in there. So there we have it. So now I've got a layer for Toronto. I'm going to go back to my main slide. And when I click on these buttons, it's going to show me these respective layers. Now, in order for me to do that, I have to add what's called a trigger. You see triggers here? So I'm going to go to Toronto, and right now it says show layer unassigned. I'm going to change that unassigned to Toronto. Okay, so when I click on that button, it's going to show me the Toronto layer. So now we've got all that in place. Let's preview it. We'll choose this slide. So you can see here, now that we're in preview mode, I can click on these text boxes at the left and see the corresponding layer for that box. Okay, in this case, I'm looking at Vancouver. Here, I'm looking at Calgary's information. Let me jump down here to Montreal. And the last one that we created, Toronto, I'll just click there, and it shows you the corresponding layer for that button. And that's done with triggers put on these objects over here, which activate these layers over here. And that is how you use layers and triggers in Articulate Storyline. The next thing we want to look at is the states feature. The states feature allows us to change the appearance of an object depending on an action, like a mouse over or a hover or a mouse click, or if we have visited the object. Now, I've already changed the states for these last three buttons. I'm just going to change the states for the button called Vancouver. The way we do that is highlight the object you wish to change the states for, and then you click down here on States. Okay, and then we select Edit States. And when we're in Edit States, we can click this button here to select and to add a new state. In this new state, I'm going to select hover. I'm going to add that. And so I'm in my new state. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this hover state a yellow outline. I'm going to click on yellow for the outline, and I'm going to give it a weight of 5. So it's a nice sort of thick outline. And so when I hover, that means when I hover over the Vancouver text object, it's going to give it a yellow outline. Okay? So that's one state. Now we'll add one more. Just keep this simple. You can add several states, but we'll add one more. I'll add a visited state. Okay? And I'll add that. And there's my visited state here. What I'll do with this one is I'll just change the color to something starkly different than it is. I'll change it to dark gray so that when you click on that, you'll know you've selected it. I mean, again, this is fairly simplistic, but it's just for the sake of example. So those are my three states. I've got normal, hover, and visited. Now I'll click Done Editing States. And to preview this, to see what this looks like, I'll click on Preview this slide. So you can see here the regular states. Now I'll click on my Vancouver button. You can see when I hover over it, it has got that yellow outline indicating that I'm hovering over it. In Calgary, the same thing. Toronto, Montreal, same thing. So I'll go back to Vancouver and I'll select it. And now that I've selected it, it turns gray. And for the other ones as well. So after I've selected all of them, they're all gray. And in this way, a user would know which buttons they have visited. So that's how you use the States feature in Articulate Storyline. This concludes the section on using Articulate Storylines, layers, triggers, and states. I hope you get to discover this great development tool for yourself. Thanks for watching.